The most striking feature of Guillermo del Toro's Cronos is its diverse use of exotic elements and folklore. This is present from the very first scene that talks of a Spanish alchemist fleeing to Mexico. This continues throughout the film, depicting many cultures. This is made to illustrate the new globalization and modernization of Mexico. In Cronos, Toro uses complex historical symbolism to show Mexico as a globalized state and Romanesque past to illustrate Mexico as a modern state on par with Europe and the United States. The most prominent example of these exotic elements is the film's central prop, the Cronos device. This distinctly scarabesque device is a direct call to the ancient Egyptian beliefs regarding the scarab or dung beetles. In Egyptian mythology, the dung beetle is a sign of life and rebirth. The Cronos device gives life to those who use it. This Egyptian symbolism does not end here, however. The dung beetle is also associated with the god Khepri. Khepri is the Egyptian god responsible for the regeneration of the sun each day. This illusion is also present in the film as grease burns in the sun. While this would seem to not match with the rest of the themes, it does. Grist burns in the sun because the Cronos device is a corruption of nature. Because the notion of life has been so desecrated, grist cannot abide its true origins. This brings in notions of divine justice. This is not the only allusion to divinity, however. The Cronos device has been hidden in the statue of an angel for decades. This references Christianity and its Jewish roots. The angel combined with the Egyptian scarab brings to mind the angel of death in the book of Exodus. In Exodus, the angel of death kills every Egyptian firstborn, and the Israelites are spared by the account of blood smeared on their doorposts from the killing of a lamb. This blood leads to yet more symbolism in the film. In order to still appear human, the users of the Cronos device must consume human blood. As the Israelites, the user must use blood to save themselves. This complex theological, mythological, and historical use of symbolism is made to show Mexico as a modern and global nation. Beyond the props, the film is still rich in references and allusions. When the alchemist dies, his last words are
suo tempore,
meaning in his own time in Latin. Latin is often used in Egyptian culture as a poetic, romantic, and historical quotes. It was also the language of Rome, which produced many quotes which are still used today. A prominent example of this is Sic Semper Tyrannis, the state motto of Virginia, meaning thus always to tyrants, a phrase attributed to Brutus during the assassination of Julius Caesar. Toro's use of Latin, especially in such a poetic form, is further evidence of Mexico's modernity. A further allusion to Rome is found in the physical appearance of the users of the Cronos device. The narrator describes the skin of the alchemist as, quote, marble in the moonlight, end quote. Marble is classically seen in association with Rome. Caesar Augustus famously said, "I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble." The alchemist's skin and last words paint him as a Rome to the story, a sort of precursor to the modern state, as Rome was a precursor to the modern European states. This shows Mexico is on a level with Europe. All this rich historical context is interwoven to show how Mexico is more modern and global. Starting with the most obvious example of the scarab, the references then go to Egyptian mythology and Khepri, then into divinity with the example of the blood, which goes back to Christianity and Judaism. Each of these is well connected to each other through intricate historical contexts. Toro uses this complex combination of references together with creation of a Rome figure and the alchemist to show Mexico is a modern and global state.